Hello there, everybody. So Raziel here, and it is finally time for me to talk about the movie I saw last week, 5 Feet Apart. I do apologize for taking so long to bring this out. That said, since a whole solid week has passed, anybody who was hardcore for seeing it, don't know if there were anybody, but anybody who was hardcore for seeing it, you have probably seen it by now, so I'm not going to spoil anything. Anybody who's on the fence or really have no interest in these kind of movies, if you've even heard of it, then I'm not really going to ruin anything for you. First and foremost, this movie was based off of a book, which I need to find. I actually meant to look that up. Whoops. To find out who the author was, because my brain is jumping to Nicholas Sparks, because it looks like one of his type of stories, but I doubt he wrote it. I actually did enjoy this movie. It was I guess you can't really call it a rom-com. A little bit of comedy. Even the romance, although it does turn out to be a key factor, even then, the romance wasn't really the big thing. The real big thing was about the importance of human connection. Our two main characters, who sadly their character names are escaping me, but their real names were Haley Lou Richardson and Cole Spencer. Cole Spencer, I believe. I don't know these actors. I know I've seen the girl somewhere. At first glance, I thought it was Chloe Moretz. You know who I mean, the girl who played Hit Girl, Carrie, something about Burning Mind. It was a Netflix movie. Still have yet to see it, but it looks good. If I do catch that, I'll run it by you guys if you want to know. But nah, I mean, they kind of looked a little bit alike, but not even close. At first glance. But still, this girl, Haley, she was a decent actress playing this main character. It was about literally a small group of friends, three people in particular, three people in particular, who unfortunately has cystic fibrosis. Now, it wasn't a movie to make you feel bad for them, no pity or shame or nothing like that. It was just about three people living their life with this disease and trying and doing what they can to still enjoy life, which was fantastic. There are between the two love interests, there's definitely a lot of banter, especially in the beginning. It's your cute basic banter, which actually got me to start to like both the male and female character. The male character starts off as your classic, I'm a loner, who cares, tomorrow's never coming, so why bother, I'm just going to do my thing, and you just want to backhand him with a cast iron frying pan, or maybe that's just me. She, on the other hand, was the epitome of OCD. Suffering from a slight OCD myself, that was a level. I mean, I know a couple people that have severe OCD, but even this was a whole new level. And in her case, she points out that she had control issues. That was not control issues. That was OCD. But as the movie progressed, you get to learn literally a little bit. There's not any serious character development. There is one moment that's kind of just dropped in there. You figure it out the moment it's hinted. You just right away it's like, oh, that's probably what happened. Then you figure out, yeah, that is what happened, and so forth. And the movie kind of continues with that for a while. There's no real conclusion to it, because, I mean, given the situation. But still, they handle it with respect. In fact, this whole movie, for the most part, was handled with respect. I mean, there wasn't any moment where I literally sat there and said, oh, I call BS. Not that I have a vast knowledge on cystic fibrosis. I just know the basics like most people, where if you have cystic fibrosis, whatever mucus you're trying to bring up, you gotta stay away from people that are sick. I mean, people that can be anything from measles, chickenpox to the common cold, because with that, well, in this case for her, she couldn't chance getting sick because sorry, getting ahead of myself. This is the spoiler-free section. Forgive me. But if you like basic general romantic movies with a little bit of comedy, definitely a couple punches of drama, but nothing too devastating, except for one moment. But again, you see it coming. They even foreshadow it. But I'd say check it out. Would definitely make a good date movie. I'll leave it at that. If you want to find a good romantic date movie for you and your girl, you and your guy, try it out. The reason I actually went to go see that movie was because I've been meaning to share this with everybody for a long time. I've been a part of these promotions that a lot of movie studios have been doing, and this is no exclusive thing. Anybody can do it. The only trick is you have to be a member of the Regal Cinema Crown Club. That's how you get the emails and the notifications about it. And for example, I recently did one for Universal Studios. So by watching Glass, Happy Death Day to You, and Us, I was able to get 1,000 extra points each movie. If you're a Regal Crown Club member, you understand what that means. After a certain, in this case, after the second movie, Happy Death Day to You, I got a free small popcorn too. Bully. But then after I saw Us, that officially closed the deal, and when those movies come on sale, I'm going to automatically get those 3 for free as digital entries. So I'll just get an email with the code, and I will add it to either any of my any of my streaming movie collection sites. That could be Movies Anywhere, Disney Anywhere, which I think is now Movies Anywhere. Ultraviolet is shut down. Actually, no, that's in July. They're going to shut down. But if you're using Ultraviolet and you have a lot of movies there, set up a Vudu account, VUDU, and what will happen is if you sync those 2 accounts and never unsync it, the moment Ultraviolet shuts down, the movies there will forever stay on your Vudu, so you won't lose anything. If you put any actual money into it, you're good. For example, I recently got this old copy of Scarface at a Goodwill. I know I'm getting off topic, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because it came with a digital code. Now, it said the digital code actually expired 12/31/13, but I got this recently and I just entered in the code and it still went through. So if anybody, check your old Blu-rays, your old DVDs. If it says it has a digital code and it expired, follow the instructions. Set up a Vudu account first. It doesn't cost anything. It's completely free and it's safe. And then follow the directions. Enter the codes. This way, say if you're a traveler or something, you will always have access to those few movies as opposed to constantly dragging DVDs with you. It has saved me a lot of hassle. Anyway, reason I'm mentioning this is because 5 Feet Apart is doing it right now, where I believe it's Lionsgate. So if I watch 5 Feet Apart, the new Hellboy movie, a movie entitled Long Shot starring Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen? The dude from This Is the End. I believe it's Seth Rogen. And the final one, John Wick Chapter 3. Well, first off, of course I'm seeing John Wick. But usually what happens with these promotions is, in my case, there's always at least one movie you really don't want to see. But go on cheap movie day or be sure to catch an early bird so it's cheaper. And you're not really losing much. And by the end of it, for what? Where I live, a general ticket when I go is usually $10 at the most, $5 at the cheapest. So for what? $40, I get $80 worth of movies because most DVDs or Blu-rays when they come out are around $20 to $25. So, see, it's a good deal. So, ladies and gentlemen, this officially cuts off the spoiler-free section of this review. If you like romantic movies, go see 5 Feet Apart. It's a nice little cute romance movie. But if romance isn't your thing, but you want to do the contest, this is why you go on the cheap day. Get a ticket for that, and then get a ticket for another movie you want to see. I had to do that once for Medea Boo, because I wanted to get Jigsaw and 2 other movies. I am not a Tyler Perry fan, but sure, that's $5 you feel you blew, but at the same time, you get these other 3 awesome movies for free. Just saying. So, end of the spoiler free. Here we go. So, warning to everybody now. This is completely spoiler filled. I'm not going to tell you the entire movie, but I'm pretty much giving you all the key points. And there's also another reason I want to do this review, but we'll get to the end of that. That's at the end of this. But, now, I'm actually looking at my computer right now so I don't forget the I forget the name of the song title. Anyway, with 5 Feet Apart, the main girl, who is Haley Richardson, thank you, sorry, it starts off where she's basically blogging all over the place, and me starting to be a YouTuber and doing this on a normal basis, I've got a long way to go. This girl was completely bubbly, full of personality, fun. It's like, even I sat there and thought, man, if this was a real person, I'd actually sit there and watch her videos, which now that I've said that, just for the heck of it, maybe I'll check. I mean, it was for a movie, but I've known of some movies where they go that far. But anyway, not saying I don't have a bubbly personality, but definitely have a little work to do to be like her. And that's literally how the first, 15-20 minutes of it is. It's just her gone through her regimens with her medications, her treatments, explaining why she's doing this, and that's what I was about to spoil a moment ago. She is on the list to get a lung transplant. And the problem is with her cystic fibrosis, if she was to get any type of bug or something, she would automatically be disqualified to get the new lungs, because when it comes to organ donating, forgive me, but I can't speak, they want you to be at the best health you can be, and that's usually how it is for any type of surgery, whether it be for lung transplant, trying to remember the name of the one surgery, gastroastronomy. It's that thing where people get the surgery to lose weight because they're at a certain weight that they can't do it themselves. I'm so spacing. Medicine is not my thing. But, so for her, it kind of explains why she has the OCD and wants to be a control freak. But the control freak isn't so much for her. The OCD is because when she's doing the regimen, you find out that actually that was an option. I'm not saying anybody should be lazy and let the hospital take care of them. Well, you know what I mean. Just in her case, she would rather make sure that she did all of her medications in a proper sense. Kind of like this, only hers was on steroids. This is just a single week for me. Your basic things, vitamins, few medications, stuff like that. But this girl had literally a tray full of different medications that she had to take, which was insane. I didn't even want to try and look them up. But that's when you enter in Cole, the obvious bad boy love interest, who she just has to find a way to make him feel better or fix him, or, she sees that there's more to him than meets the eye. I swear I wanted to puke, but it was still cute with the banter. Cole, unfortunately, was your classic, we're going to die anyway, why bother, let's not push it and all this. And not saying he was a spoiled rich kid, but they did kind of lean on to that when you saw how his mother presented herself, how she was dressed and all that stuff. You hear very little bit about his father. There really wasn't that much character development outside of what you saw. Aside from these two, the only other person with CF, as they addressed it, was a lifelong friend of Haley's. Forgive me, I do not remember any of the characters' names. I'll say their real names. I don't even remember the friend's name. Movie was kind of forgettable in that case, but her friend, at one point, it wasn't a joke. It was just, you ever be in a hospital bed and you lean a certain way, you accidentally hit the call button? Well, that's what happened. And they were afraid that he was coding. And because of that, they rushed in, and he was fine. He just went to the bathroom, but he said it. I'm sorry, I accidentally kicked the thing. But cystic fibrosis is a serious thing. You're practically drowning in your own bodily fluids. I mean, the mucus builds up so much. So as time progresses and these two start to develop more of a connection with each other, and then with that, Cole develops a connection with Haley's friend, you start to see how things are working out where, now only two of Haley's friends who were in the beginning slowly come into the story, very slowly. A couple of Cole's friends slowly come into the story. And although we never actually meet him, we find out that Haley's friend has a boyfriend. But he's one of those kind of guys where as soon as the relationship starts, he gets scared, sabotages it, and ends it. He never even pretends to make it seem like they were the problem. He points it out. He's the problem. And it's a shame, but, fear can do a lot of things to people. As time progresses, her controlling kicks in with Cole, where because she sees that he's so nonchalant about his care that she literally links her care up with his so that he'll be okay. Which, in truth, just threw me off because I'm thinking this is all about you. You need to get the new lungs. Like, no disrespect, but bump him. I mean, if he's not going to do it, forget it. Get your lungs. But it wasn't even about her so much doing the right thing because all life matters, but because of the fact that she just, she said, literally messed with her head that he did not do it religiously like she did. So that was kind of one of those weird motivations where you're like, well, you have good intentions, but at the same time, you're just nuts. I mean, just focus on you. Get better, girl. Get better. But anyway, so as time progresses, everybody's connecting. The parents, for anybody, hardly ever shows up. The friend, his parents never show up. The mother is there maybe twice, and the girl's parents show up maybe 3 times. And at one point, the one sad moment is Haley's friend does in fact pass away, and they started off just like the beginning, where you hear the call button, and for a second they do kind of ignore it, but not in a disrespectful way. It's just they kind of play it off at first like, oh, he must hit the call button again, but they do respond right away, hitting the intercom, asking for him. He doesn't respond. They do it 2 more times, and without him responding, they take, the 2 nurses look at each other, and it's that obvious, oh dear. They go, and unfortunately, sure enough, he's collapsed. They do everything they can, CPR, they intubate him, they chest compressions, but sadly there was nothing they could do, and the friend passes away. This causes Haley's character to actually lose it. I don't just mean lose it, I mean she freaks out to the point that she actually runs into her room, and bear in mind, this movie, she's so controlling and OCD, even of her own life, that everything is pristine. She runs in there, she's tearing down pictures, she is destroying medications, like literally just taking her medication, smacking it on the table. And even at this moment where she is at least as far as she knows, at her most devastated, something happens that snaps her back into reality. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you everything, but something happens that snaps her back into reality, and now she's mad not only at the world, but at Cole too, because of his nonchalantness. And it's just, then we have our moments where, we're going to take our paths, go separate ways, whatever, time and period and whatever. But then something happens that causes them to reconnect. And unfortunately, this leads to not so much hijinks, but a little flat out idiocy, not even foolishness. Because she just wanted things a certain way, she made choices that made absolutely no sense. Doesn't even matter what the situation is. They made no sense. Which led to more issues that made no sense. To situations that you see coming. To a situation that you saw coming literally from a mile away, that even if they hinted it at the beginning of the movie, you would have known. In fact, I think there is a moment where they kind of hint at it, but I'm really spacing on that opening. It was that dull. And because of this, she ends up in a situation where she may regret the choices that she makes. Now, did this hurt her in the end? Did it not? I'm not going to tell you. But I will end this review soon. Wow, 18 minutes. My fault, folks. I will end this with 2 things. The whole time I was watching this movie, right off the bat, they mentioned how connections, not just in any form, but especially human connections, with people that you care for more than life itself, they really try to push on how important it was. Like right off the beginning, they try to beat you over the head with a wiffle bat with it. But luckily, not until the end do they try to hammer it in again, because they trusted us to watch the movie and figure out that, oh, this is what you're doing. Like, we heard you talk about connections, but we see what you mean with this and that and this and that, and the whole point of the title. There is a point why it's called 5 Feet Apart, because right off the bat in the beginning of the movie, they already kill the whole point of 5 Feet Across, where you're sitting there like, wait a minute. Oh, sorry, 5 Feet Apart, where you're like, wait a minute. I thought it was, what? But then we get to a moment where you're like, oh, that's why it's called that. Not clever, but hey, nice. I'll go with it. So, the whole time I was watching this movie, I kept thinking of this song, which was done by a Japanese artist named Joe Inoue, and it's called Closer. Any anime fans out there, you probably know exactly what song this is. The original Japanese translation, the words are actually, forgive me, all that is near us we must know can disappear any day, so be careful. The main key to finding happiness lies nowhere else but in my soul. And that is honestly quite a powerful message in just 2 sentences. I mean, and of course there are people out there who did covers of it, and 2 of my favorite covers of that song, the original Japanese version is fantastic. In fact, I'm going to put a link to his video with the original Japanese and the 2 cover artists right below. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be in the descriptions down below. If you're watching this on Facebook, it's going to be right above. Where the 2 people, one is called Caleb Hayes, who loves covering Disney movie songs, where he's fantastic. Really look him up, he's good. And he does the translation exactly as Joe did. But then there's another person named, I want to say, Amanda Lee, I believe. But she's known as LeeandLie. And that version where they said, trying to remember, all that we love and hold so dear can disappear one day without warning. For as we fear if we get too close to it, we'll lose it all in a heartbeat. And if you watch the movie, you'll understand why the song kept going through my head, because it matches so perfectly that it actually had me sitting there wondering about my own life. Where, if anybody saw it, I posted a video about a week ago explaining about what was going on with my health. Nothing dire, but I'm completely better now. But it definitely put my life in perspective, and I thanked a few people in my life, my family, a couple of friends, and one person I did miss out, but she knows I love her very much, my sister Kelly. Because while I wasn't feeling well, as if through a sixth sense, she actually informed my mother to create a healing soup for me. And even though the movie was cheesy, it definitely had me sitting there wondering about the connections that I've made. In fact, that's one of the reasons I made that video about what was going on with my health, because I wanted to show appreciation to the people that have been there for me and supported me through some of my toughest times, especially recently when I wasn't doing well. So I won't drag this out much longer. Most of that I already said in that last video, but given the song, the stuff I've gone through, and that movie, it definitely hit me over the head with a cast iron frying pan about how a person should always show appreciation. Never play games, do not manipulate, do not misuse, mistrust. Be good to each other. Because just from observation, everybody likes to pretend that they have all the time in the world. Every time you wake up, you never know where the day is going to take you. And nobody's promised a set amount of time. One minute you could be sitting there with the person you care about most, having the best day of your life. And the next moment you could wake up, and that person could be gone. Or maybe you won't wake up, you don't know. Nobody's ever guaranteed time. Appreciate the people in your life that treat you right, that genuinely love you, respect you, and you know without the shadow of a doubt will be there for you. If you can name at least one person in your life that you know won't hurt you or betray you or toy with your emotions or make you feel insignificant, consider yourself very lucky, because not many people have such a gift. And always let those people know how you feel about them. It'll really hit you hard if one day you find out that you'll never get to tell the people how you really feel because you chose to play it safe. This is planet Earth. Everybody's going to be scared about something. But It's not even about bravery or nothing. Just, there's something you have to say to people. Let them know. Because without those connections, can we really say we had a fulfilling life? As I said earlier, if you do enjoy a nice little romantic movie, definitely go check this out. If you just want to do it for the promotion, again, go check it out. Never take people for granted. Always be straight with people and let them know how you feel. You never know. Until next time, everybody. Take care.